Hello, everybody. Good day, and welcome to my 1 month with Dada video. Although at this point it's actually more closing in on 6 weeks because winter holidays got in the way, and I have a life outside of Dada and outside of YouTube. Um, but I promised after my 1 week video, I promised a 1 month video to let you know how things are progressing and what my experiences have been. So this is that 1 month video, and let's get right into it. First item, the students. By 1 month, by this point, you're getting to know them. You're getting to know personal things about them, their likes, their dislikes, their capabilities, their attention spans. And they're just as important, they're getting to know you. They're getting to know what your teaching style is, what games you can play, what songs you can sing. Uh, they're definitely getting to know how much you would let them get away with. Um, so I would definitely suggest keep keep a relatively tight leash because, like any kid, they'll push you until they've stretched you as much as they can. Um, but no, it's great. By this point, I'm a full roster of regular students. I'm teaching 5 days a week, 6 students per day. So I've got about 16, 17 regular students. Um, and it's good. I know who they are. I remember where we left off. And they know how I like to open lessons. They know how I like to teach. We know each other's paces. Um, I've also lost a couple of students by now. I had students at the beginning that are no longer with me. Um, I choose not to take that personally. I don't know why they moved on. I don't know if it was Dada. I don't know if it was me. But you know, if there's two possibilities and one of them offends me, I'll choose to believe the other. Um, One student I asked to have transferred to another teacher. He was a young fellow who knew no English at all. And after a few lessons, it was apparent that he would benefit well from having a teacher who could give him a little bit of direction and instruction in Mandarin, and that wasn't me. I was definitely not the best fit for this young guy, so I asked Dada to transfer him to a teacher who had Mandarin capabilities. And within about a week, he was not in my roster anymore. So I don't know if Dada transferred him or if he left, but again, I hope to believe, or I choose to believe, that he found a teacher and they're having a good learning relationship. Um, Number two, by this point, you're becoming very familiar with the material. You're teaching the same lesson to different students. You're working through the same books. You're knowing what to expect when you turn the page, which is a good thing. It's good. Uh, Unfortunately, not all the material is exciting and fun. Some of it is rather dull. Of course, it's our job as teachers to try to make the dull stuff fun, or at least that's my ideal, to try and keep everything engaging and energized and educational. Um, I haven't always lived up to that ideal, unfortunately. I hope as I gain experience as a teacher, I'll get there more and more. But I've definitely had some classes that when I finished, I knew that was that was not my best teaching moments. But like I said, we grow, we learn, we move on. Tomorrow's another day. Um, Tests. By this point, you're also starting to see assessment tests coming up. Um, so yeah, that's something to bear in mind. You can't just sit around pretending to teach and have your thumbs stuck in your nether regions, because your students are being tested on the material to see if they're learning it, which means conversely you're being tested to see if you're teaching it. Um, so far, all of my students have done very well in the tests. I believe that's a combination of my teaching and their learning. I dread the day that one of my students does really poorly. I'll take that as a reflection on my abilities, but the day hasn't come yet. But yeah, by the first month or the first 5 weeks, students are starting to be tested. So be prepared for that. Number three, non-teaching issues. Working with data. A lot of new teachers um, come in wondering about the pay. I find the pay equitable. I've been paid twice now. The pay has come into my bank account when I expected it, promptly. It has been exactly as much as I expected. There was no conflict between what data says they owe me and what I believe I'm owed. Everything was perfect, meshed, no problems claiming the money. Um, so that was good. I believe data really does respect their teachers and value us. Um, the data software is easy to learn, it's easy to use. Um, Here and there, I guess, with any software, especially when you're trying to communicate and stream to somebody on the other side of the planet, there will be glitches. You might get screen hangs, you might lose sound, you might boop, be kicked out of a class and have to return to it. They happen. They don't happen all the time. I've had very few issues in the weeks that I've taught, so it's a reliable, it's easy software. They're a reliable, respectful company that are there to help you out. I like it. I've definitely worked with worse people and with worse companies. Um, One of the things that I was told early on is that I might want to make use of a software called Manycam, which makes your teaching environment more exciting. It'll put up colors, it'll put up animations, you can play sounds and videos and such and so forth through it. I have not taken that advice. I've not adopted Manycam. I'm a believer in if something can go wrong, it will. So I'm not going to include more possible issues in my teaching day. I'm going to keep it analog. Um, and my students are used to that. The ones that need all of that other stuff, I guess they'll find teachers that suit them. The students that are with me now know me, they know my environment, they know how we work, and we've got a good relationship. So I said no to Manycam. If you're comfortable with technology and technology and technology, go for it. Um, Really, those are that kind of wraps it up. Um, Tips that I might offer after your first month and a half with data. Um, I'm sure the tips that I'm about to offer will be very familiar to people who come from a teaching background. They'll be saying, well, no duh, but I didn't come from a teaching background. So I feel like I've learned these things, and if you don't come from a teaching background, this might be new to you. Uh, my biggest tip is avoid ruts. Avoid getting into a rut, and that's already possible when you're teaching every day that many students. Um, the When I don't have a class, when a student is canceled, or I just have an open spot, watch other teachers through the live stream. Um, I always learn something from watching another teacher during their class. I learn a new song, a new game, a new strategy, new material. Keep learning, keep building. Avoid getting into a teaching rut um, because you just can't dial it in with these kids. They pick up on that, and that brings me kind of to advice number two. Um, I was told when I started um, to always be really well prepared for the class because students will pick up if you're not prepared. Um, I haven't found that. I've had, at the very last minute, I've had my material switch on me, so I haven't been able to prepare. And it can be a fun experience exploring and finding out what the next page holds. It can be a fun experience, not necessarily being fully prepared. What they do pick up on, what the students do pick up on and react poorly to, much more so than not being prepared, is being tired or bored. If a student knows you, or if you're just dialing it in, if you're just phoning it in, they pick up on it, and you see them start to wander. Their attention starts to go everywhere. Um, or if you're tired, if you're stifling yawns, if you're talking through yawns, they're going to start to yawn. Worst case, they'll just get up and walk away, and there's nothing you can do. They reflect you, what you bring to the class. So if you bring boredom to the material, or if you bring sleepiness, or if you bring a rut, it's going to be a hard class no matter what. Um, I've gotten to a place where I'm happy going to bed earlier. I'm happy waking up and coming to class and doing what I do. I really am. Um, so, you know, just if it's for you, if this kind of thing is for you, then by this point in your teaching experience, I'm hoping you'll be happy too. I'm hoping that you'll have adjusted, you'll enjoy your students, you'll know them by name, you'll know their families and their pets' names, you'll know their favorite foods and colors, and you'll go to bed looking forward to the alarm ringing in the morning, as I do. Um, I hope if you're only thinking about joining DaDa, I hope this encourages you to give it a shot. They're a good company to work for, in my limited experience. Um, if you've just started with DaDa, well, this is where you might expect to be after 1 month. Um, and it's not a bad place to be. It's fun. Um, so thank you for watching. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've been entertained a little bit. And I will see you again in the next video, which I'm just putting together in my head now. All right. So again, thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.